is quite easy to think that the lottery could probably be the best thing that could happen to you. After all, who wouldn't want to have a lot of money all of a sudden, without even breaking a sweat? And even still, when you look at the big picture, there's very low chances of getting the lottery, considering the combination of numbers that could appear on the screen that day. The harsh truth, however, on the other side, is that plenty of lottery winners actually go completely broke in the next several years, meaning that the lottery is in fact a blessing or a curse for some individuals, maybe even both sometimes.
It's not the money, it's the numbers. The numbers are cursed. Dude, don't look at me like that. I'm not crazy.
Various news outlets report that allegedly, around 70% of people who win the lottery or get a big sum of money out of nowhere end up broke in a few years. And although it is impossible to confirm the exact number of lottery winners who go broke, the available data suggests that it is a rather frightening, common issue. And winning the lottery among these distressed people did not help them financially to escape their troubles, but rather postpone the inevitable bankruptcy that followed. That's the name of the game for many people who eventually do win the lottery, and the excessive spending, risky investments, and poor money management all around are just one of the few main reasons why everything is happening in that manner. And without further ado, let's see only a few out of the large group of lottery winners that went broke, and their story moving forward. Jack Whitaker. One of the lucky winners was Jack Whitaker, who in 2002 won a $314 million Powerball jackpot, which at the time was the biggest lottery prize in history. Known for his outsized cowboy hats, Jack was a construction worker from West Virginia and still remains one of the most extreme tales about the lottery's power to ruin someone's life in such a short amount of time. Jack's happiness came from him donating cash to places like churches, diner waitresses, family members, the occasional stranger, and the strip club in his town. His life went downhill when, in quick succession, many bad things happened to him. His wife left him, his house burned down, he broke the law, and lost both his daughter and granddaughter. And he died in 2020 at the age of 72. Laura and Roger Griffiths. A misfortune followed Laura and Roger Griffiths, whose marriage ended in a divorce, not more than a decade after the two won a $2.19 million jackpot. And in an instant, Roger started chasing his rock star dreams, throwing away a lot of money for his band to release an album, with his wife getting a taste of what it is like if you hit that like button just like you should do if you haven't already. Oh gosh, no. Rather getting a taste of what the high life is, enjoying all the luxury she could at the time, from expensive and exotic cars to designer clothes and accessories, and very pricey private school for their daughter. Another bad investment from the couple was dumping a whole lot of money into opening a salon, where Laura later worked to make ends meet, and in the end, the couple was left with less than $10. David Lee Edwards. David Lee Edwards from Kentucky won a jackpot worth $27 million, and it didn't take too long for him to go broke, not more than 5 years after the lottery. David, together with his wife, managed to squander $3 million in the first 3 months, everything on typical goodies like exotic cars, mansions, and a plane. When the first year passed, the couple had already spent $12 million, a little less than half of the winnings. By 2006, the couple had spiraled out of control, and just 12 years after winning the jackpot, David died alone and broke in hospice care at the age of 58, but not before descending down the dark path of not being able to manage the money that was given to him out of nowhere. Mickey Carroll. By the looks of things, it seems like Mickey Carroll's childhood was ruined in a minute after, at just 19 years of age, he won a jackpot worth $11.8 million in Britain. The media around the world dubbed him the Little Lout, the young winner that tore all of the winnings in tremendous fashion, managing to spend his newfound fortune with astonishing speed. Much of it went to partying, as well as other material expenses such as cars, jewelry, clothes, and etc. In 2016, it became known that he's earning a few $100s working at a slaughterhouse, with him marrying his ex-wife in 2021 after she divorced him for cheating on her with other women during his high-end endeavors. Cali Rogers. Cali Rogers is yet another Brit who cashed in a big sum of money all of a sudden at a young age, who with 16 years under her belt won a jackpot of $2.3 million in 2003. However, as almost all of the others in this list, her fortune turned into misfortune simply by her not being able to manage her money. Moving forward a decade later, according to some sources, Cali only had $2,500 left in the bank. And as for where her money went, well, the typical stuff, clothes, partying, high-end life, and plastic surgery. And that's not the end. Cali was also banned from driving after she crashed during a police chase. And in 2021, it was reported by the Daily Mail that Cali is not penniless and living on government benefits at the age of 35, 20 years after the win. Gerald Muswagon. A Canadian by the name of Gerald Muswagon. Smash the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Oh gosh, in all seriousness, no. Gerald bought a $2 ticket that made him an instant millionaire back in 2011. He won a jackpot worth $10 million, which, as you might have guessed, was blown in the next several years. One of Gerald's first investments was a house that doubled as a nightly party place. And Gerald was the host of all the parties that followed after the first one. Outside of parties, Gerald blew much of the money on cars and gifts, all while racking up a string of legal entanglements. By the end of the day, he was seen doing manual labor to support his girlfriend and 6 young children. And not more than 7 years after the jackpot, he decides his fate in his parents' garage. Janet Lee. Back in 1993, a phenomenon happened when a South Korean immigrant by the name of Janet Lee won the Illinois lottery while working at a wig shop, a jackpot worth $18 million. However, that was the end of the individual's story. 7 years later, Janet filed for bankruptcy, with sources saying that she only had $700 left and around $2.5 million in debt that needed to be paid. Most of her money was spent on donations, a generous person, but she simply gave too much, after which she sold her rights to future annual payments in exchange for a lump sum, according to Time, which, as you see, was still not enough to keep her away from bankruptcy. Suzanne Mullins. In the same year as Janet, there was also another lottery winner, Suzanne Mullins, but this time around in Virginia, where she won a jackpot worth $4.3 million, a sum of money she agreed to split 3 ways with her husband and daughter. Strung out for 20 years, however, her share of the annual installments was less than $50,000 each, and after paying for an uninsured relative and the illness, she went broke and had to borrow money with her future payments as collateral, something that was pushing Suzanne more and more into debt. Mullins was able to take advantage of the lottery rules getting changed and instead got the lump sum and all of her future payments up front. She stopped making payments on the loans, and eventually, in 2004, a judge ruled she owed around $154,000 to the lender from way before, which is just one of the many reasons why all of the people have reserved their spot on our list as one of the dumbest lottery winners who went completely broke. See you in the next video!